The expansion is quite impressive. We've been very impressed with just the facilities. Then, of course, all the pomp and circumstance is always very impressive. It's one of the things that I think the TFP does better than than anybody else that I know, really. So it's been quite amazing. It's been really nice too to see the endorsement and just all the favor that Cardinal Burke has shown the Academy. That's very good. So we've been very impressed with that. Also, Mr. Horvath's talk was very inspiring to hear the just kind of the hallmarks of the school and the mission, and what the Academy is endeavoring to do in forging young Catholic boys into men. And so that was very nice to hear that, because it's a mission that we very much support. We're very impressed just with we've seen that fruit even born in our son who attends the Academy. He's still got some growing to do, of course, but it's been certainly the seeds of a good beginning. So.
We actually have the unique perspective of having a son who went to a different boarding school, because it was much closer to us being in Nebraska, and so very good experience there as well. But there are differences, because I would say the unique aspect of this school is that because the men here are committed to this cause and have this mission, and they take promises of being chaste as well. It's almost like living with religious, which is we had that in former years. That has been a really big difference. The commitment to each of the boys getting to have their own opportunity to shower every day and have to dress in the bathrooms for that modesty is really wonderful. So it's little things like that just make a tremendous difference. And I understand these other schools don't have that same opportunity. It's nothing against them, but it is a difference here. And we are seeing that in the modesty of our son, in his speech, and in just the entire aspect of purity in speech, purity in mind, and purity in our actions. Yes, the decorum is very good, and so that's a pretty major impressive difference, I would say. So you're setting a good foundation here with the building that you've done, but also, more importantly to me, the interior foundations of what it is to be authentically Catholic, and so that's a wonderful thing. So we're very grateful for you.
That kind of sums it up then.
Yes.
So no, yeah, we're very grateful to the Academy. Anytime we have an opportunity to speak with people about it, we are very we make it a point to draw out those distinctions. That just the fact of boarding school in particular, it's not an option that a lot of Catholics seem to be mindful of. Unfortunately, I think it's an error today in Catholic education that homeschooling is the highest and best, which we've homeschooled up until this point, or at least up until a few years ago, only because out of necessity, not because we were really even convinced that it was the highest and best. But we think that especially for young boys, that it's very good for them to be around other young Catholic boys, and then also to have the models of good men. These young men get to see virtue in action, and so that is the thing I think that really sets the St. Louis de Montfort Academy apart from any other boarding school out there right now. So we've been very impressed with just a good example of the volunteers who staff the school, and then just even the young men that we've met, either the upperclassmen. So the boys don't just have access to the good example of the volunteers here, but then also of even just the upperclassmen who attend here as well. So it's been great.
Because women can't teach men how to become men, and so at some point the moms have to learn that you've got to cut the apron strings, and so that's what I'm trying to kind of help some of my, because I homeschooled as well, and there are beautiful things about it, but and these moms are like, oh, I could never send my son away, and it's like, oh, but you don't know what they're missing. I mean, just the positive peer pressure here in and of itself. There's a holy rivalry that's going on, and it's beautiful to see. They really want to, they want to serve, and they want to, to do these wonderful, these wonderful things here, and it's very good to see. You cannot replicate that in a home, and so there's very wonderful things to do as they're younger, but when they, are growing up, and because there is such a war for our child's minds right now, we have, choirs in New York singing about it, that they're coming for our children, and on the online, and most of us homeschooling moms, we, you get to a point where you're like, well, you just have to have recourse to using a computer to do some of those subjects that you just couldn't possibly do, and so and yet those there's just ensnarements to that, and so that's just a difficulty. So I just hope people would consider, looking into the camps. I mean, the camps are wonderful in and of itself. That's how we came to find out about it. We've known about TFP for years, but we didn't know about the school, and so so we know now, though, and we want to help spread that word.